I missed a chest last time. The chest is obtainable by jumping out of this bulb and then just floating down to pick it up with your Deku Leaf. And that's really it. And inside this chest is 20 bucks. So not super important, but it was really annoying me in editing, so here we are. To the episode. Welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker HD. Last time, I got the boomerang, and this time we're going to solve puzzles with the boomerang, move on in the dungeon. So as you just saw right there, the boomerang is capable of homing on to multiple different objects. So it's very, very useful for taking down multiple enemies at once, and speaking of taking down enemies, it has a lot of unique effects on enemies that we've seen before. So with these P-hats, we can easily incapacitate them. Using just the normal Deku Leaf, we were able of incapacitating them for a small amount of time. But using the boomerang, we can take away their little leaves entirely. So there we go, they're gone, all they can do is hop around, and, well, that means they really can't do much to hurt you. Over here, I believe that I can, yes, get rid of these using my magical boomerang, and also, these little things that we couldn't, or these vines that we can do anything to in the very beginning of the dungeon, we can now knock down, and they kind of act as pots. They give you rupees, a bunch of miscellaneous things, so that's nice. In fact, we're going to have to use that right now, and you can see how many things that the boomerang can target at once. It's only 5, but still, that's quite a lot, and it lets you deal with a lot of different situations that you wouldn't be able to deal with otherwise. So, long story short, it's a useful item. You should use it. There's also some other enemies we've seen, and up till now we've had a little bit of a harder time dealing with them, and boomerangs will just make it slightly easier to deal with them. So that's also very nice. Down there, that's a previous room I've been to, so I really don't want to go down there and check it out. Now up here, we have a room we have also been to before. Going back to what I was talking about with dungeon design in this game in Dragon Roost, this game has very linear dungeons, and this is another example of that. You will end up going back to these main rooms without actually having to backtrack, like, ever. These will there will just be paths that lead you back to that place, and you'll realize, oh, there must be something I can do in this room now. It's just a little bit more basic design, and I've already talked about this quite extensively. I enjoy it, I like it a lot, but not everyone is going to. So this little bud, for some reason, or this is certainly not little, this bud flower type thing, somehow shoots air out of it. And with that, you can actually pull out your... Okay, well, if you do the timing properly, this one's always gotten me a little bit. You can get back up to the previous areas you've been in before using that. So that's kind of neat. Oh, you get into the bulb and then you shoot out. Okay, well, I had the right idea. Just very bad execution. This P-hat can get out of here. Into the water and... Oh. They float. That's neat. You can knock these guys away using your Deku Leaf. I think I've talked about that before. You can also get rid of them via rolling, though it's a little bit less convenient than I'd think just spin attacking, especially within these small quarters, because you won't really be able to easily get rid of... Oh. After a while, they do actually go back to being... to having their leaves. That's really weird. I thought they were incapacitated forever, but I guess that's just because I've dealt with them that way for so long, and I've dealt with them really quickly, and I just never thought that they would actually somehow get their leaves back. I don't know. Anyway, I'm doing this platforming section very poorly, and you can see how I previously talked about these guys, whatever they're called, I can't remember. I edited the episode just today, and I still forgot. But anyway, you can see how they can be very annoying, especially within these case scenarios where they can hop on water and somehow hit you that way still. It's really annoying. About Choo-Choo. Now you can stun them using your boomerang. But also, the times which you... Can you please leave? Thank you. Oh my god, they're so annoying. The times when they were really annoying, when they would just hop into the ground, essentially, they would squat down, you couldn't do anything about them, sword couldn't reach him, couldn't do anything. Those are no longer an issue, because if you actually use your boomerang, you can incapacitate, or you can, I've been saying incapacitate a lot, I guess that's just word of the day for me. You can stun them very easily, while they're in the ground using the boomerang. So you can make them come back up, and then you can kill them easily that way. Really, It's super useful, and that's a nice way to make one of the more annoying enemies a little bit easier. That is an Octorok. I really don't care all that much about you. I have more important... Okay. Because I failed that, I guess I do care about you. There you go. Die for me, thank you very much. And now I can do this. And that lands. There we go. Is there a door? I was going to say chest. Whoopsies. This brown water's always kind of grossed me out. It's so nasty. It's so nasty. And Link swims around in it just fine, but he's got to be getting something from there, right? Some type of disease. Anyway, so, Boko Babas. They are also easily dealt with the boomerang. One-hit kill. Another enemy that took a little bit more effort is now easy with the new item you just got. Though that's usually how it works in Zelda games. Either way, really neat. You guys can leave. Thank you. Actually, is there any real reason for me going down there? I don't think so. Never mind. I'm not going to then. There's a chest in there, and the only other place I haven't gone to is right up here, and this takes me up, 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 so I guess that's the right area. I'm just gonna get rid of them this way. Again, like every other enemy in this place, killing them with a boomerang just makes everything so much easier. Please leave. Thank you. There we go. Had to get a little bit closer to him. You have to get kind of close to the edges of these platforms to deal with these enemies. It's a little bit tricky, and when I say a little bit, I mean very, very, very little. It's not a big deal. But either way, it's trickier than usual, I guess, if I'm trying to salvage what I just said. So, this area. If you look right down there, there's a little hole in there, but we can't actually go in there just yet because there is this little eye we got to deal with. I am really bad at positioning Link. There we go. There's this little eye we got to deal with. Okay, I guess this is just one of these where you got to push it along this way. I don't know. I always get weirded out by these little gondola thingies. Whatever they're called. It's a type of gondola, I'm pretty sure. Because there's just different ways of dealing with them in certain situations. So I always confuse them. I don't know. I'm not the smartest. Either way, that puzzle right there, pretty neat. Throw a bomb in there. Not super difficult to figure out or anything, but it's fun. I like it. And we get a treasure chart. Very, very nice. I'll be taking that. And for this... well, this is an issue. No, it's not, because I can crawl through here. Very cool. So I could have crawled in here before, but it wouldn't really do anything for me. Neat. I thought you had to jump in through the top. I was wrong. That's kind of neat. Kind of cool. I sound very unenthused right now, because I'm just very tired. That went back up to there. Okay, so that initially I thought that 10 rupees that you could obtain from up there was like you better think before you act, because what is this thing doing? Okay, they can grow back. That's the issue. That's the issue I'm having. I was like, why is that staying up there? That was why. Anyway, as I was saying, I thought that 10 rupees was only obtainable if you thought before you acted, simply because I thought it was like a little reward for those who didn't just immediately go for it. But I guess I was actually wrong on that. Not that it's a big deal. It would be kind of a little bit annoying if a chest wasn't accessible to everyone because they thought ahead and were like, oh, I can use my boomerang to knock down this plant. And they just didn't notice the chest immediately because they just went for it. I don't know. I'm kind of rambly right now. The rest of this dungeon is pretty boomerang heavy, as you would think. And it doesn't do a whole lot different with the boomerang from what we've seen already. A lot of the things that we've seen with the boomerang are just what we're going to be using it for in general. Taking care of multiple enemies at once. Taking care of these weird little gross finger thingies. These are so weird. Who thought of these? You're in a forest temple, you're going around, using your boomerang, and then there's these weird little, like, tentacle things that could be straight out of Jabu Jabu's belly in Ocarina of Time. Like, what? They're so gross. Anyway. Oh, no. Vines. My biggest fear. So, I think that if I walk further in here... we'll see that I can use my boomerang to activate all of these switches, and I gotta do it at once, because if there's multiple switches, you can't just do it one at a time. It's just a fact, and I've been messing up a lot in this temple. Usually I'm not that awful, but I don't know. My movement game is not what it usually is. I guess I'm just not feeling it. I don't know. I don't know what's up with this. Anyway. Standing up here, you can hit all of these switches. They are all going to be within view. And by the way, you can move while using your boomerang. That's something that I really like about Wind Waker in general. You can move while using your items. You don't have to stop to use a projectile item like you had to before in other Zelda games. Because that sucked. That was a really dumb idea. I really didn't like that. Or really a dumb limitation, rather. I really didn't like that. It makes sense why it had to happen, because you only had one analog stick, and using the C stick for moving around your 3D projectile-based weapon would suck. But I also don't like the fact that you had to stand still in general. This is just nice. Both analog sticks means cool things can happen, as you can see. Also, we have to fight moblins. Neat. These seem to be a reoccurring mini-boss type enemy. Obviously not entirely a mini-boss, because we've already faced the mini-boss in this area. But, hey, it counts, right? These guys aren't too scary. If you were playing on hero mode, I guess I could kind of see why they would be a little bit frightening, but they're not too bad. Boomerang! Whoa, you can use it on them! Pretty cool. It gets past their little shield blocky thingy, so that's pretty nice. I kind of like to just spam with them, though, and, you know, that tends to work out relatively well. It's not awful. Look, I lost a heart and a quarter, which I got hit a lot. I got hit a lot. This game's pretty easy. I'll say it before. I've said it before, I think, and I'll say it again. And I'll probably say it again after this at some point. This game's pretty simple, pretty easy. What did I just get? I just think I just got the big key. I'm pretty sure I just got the big key. So, there's those things. Now I gotta think about how to take care of those things. Wait. Or maybe I don't have to think about how to take care of them, because I can just do this. Ayo! Puzzle solving. Let's go. It's really weird how Link just, like, pulled himself up there, like, really quickly. He didn't even, like, pull himself up on the rope. The rope just, I guess, stretched a lot. A lot. Speedrun. That's me, Mr. Speedrunner. But no, I really do genuinely enjoy the Deku Leaf for reasons like that. You can just float over things that would otherwise be annoying on backtracking specifically. And now I can finally show off what I was talking about earlier. Look at that. Look at me. I'm floating. That's great. Down here there was a door. I never went down here before because there was no reason to, other than the fact that there's this door which we couldn't do anything with until now. So let's get rid of that and enter this room. Explore more of the dungeon. See these vines pop up behind me again. And these Mathulas, I don't know how to pronounce it, and I also don't know if I'm remembering that name correctly. These guys actually share you already know this because I put it up on screen already. These guys share a name with the mini-boss of this dungeon. Kinda cool, kinda neat. They only show up here, so them not getting super unique names isn't a big deal. But kind of a missed opportunity. Either way, they probably would have named the bigger version of the Mathulas, however you pronounce that, like Big Mathula. So I'm not expecting great things. This is the way I came from. Lovely me. Lucky me. I always, whenever it's a room like this, each end looks so similar, and I always just get confused. I don't know. I'm rambling. These things, I've already talked about how they kind of act like pots. I'm going to break all of these really quickly because there's interesting things in all of them. Picking up items with a boomerang is also a thing. That's a Zelda staple for the boomerang, so I don't know why I forgot to talk about that until now. This is a little bit sad. You can also break open these pots with it. I am being very bad with my aim right now. These guys also need to get off me. There's so many of them in this room. It's so annoying. Oh, here he is, the fairy. And now, after enough game time, this bottle has gone back to being a normal bottle of water. So that means I can actually pick this guy up just in case I have problems with this area for whatever reason. But I really shouldn't. We'll see. I've not been doing too great recently, so not really gonna count on my skill too much in this case scenario. I definitely could mess things up, but as I've said before, this game's easy. It shouldn't be too bad. And there we go. We opened that up, so now we can access this boss room whenever. Let's go inside. Makar is dead, and now we have to fight Kalle. Is that how you pronounce it? K-A-L-L-E space D-E-M-O-S. Kalle is what I'm going for, even though it's probably not right. This boss fight utilizes, you guessed it, the boomerang. As you can see, there's these weird little hand things, and they're holding up this big old bulb. So what you want to do is avoid all of these attacks that he is throwing out with his weird little tentacle things, and knock down the rest of his tentacles that are holding him up. After you've done this, well, you'll see eventually, he can do a lot of different attacks. This one is the one he seems to be in love with at the moment, which is just making his little tentacles travel through the ground, and then shooting them up through the ground, swinging them around, putting them in the air like you just don't care. Ugh. But once you've gotten all of these down, he will open up his bulb, and now you can go crazy on his actual face. You want to get out before he actually does that. You take a little bit of damage when that happens, as you can see by my blinking red body. But it's really not all that much. This boss isn't very difficult. He just slams down. He can do that as an attack as well. I kind of forget what he can do, because a lot of what he can do isn't really all that interesting. It's just using his tentacles, and also you can kill him very, very quickly. That was 2 phases. I'm pretty sure you can kill him in 1. So with Kalle down, that is our second boss of Wind Waker dead.
Swordsman, are you the one who rescued me? You have my thanks. When all went dark around me, I thought my time on the earth was over. But why are you here, Swordsman? What? The great Deku Tree sent you? Oh, that's right. Today's the day of our annual ceremony. Oh, I'm in trouble. I shouldn't be here. I must get out of here immediately.
That's heart container number 6. Do you say anything different? Let's go quickly. Okay. I agree. Oh, Makar, you have returned safely.
I'm sorry, great Deku Tree. I know you warned us many times, but still, I did not listen.
Do not worry, Makar. You are safe now. Just be more careful from now on. You have done well, Link. I must thank you for your brave deed. Here is that which I have promised you. Please accept it. You received Farore's Pearl. The Earth Spirit, the Deku Tree, has seen fit to give you this jewel, a treasure of the goddess Farore. It is my hope that this pearl shall lead you to a fair destiny. All is well, Makar. Do not cry. Please, play your songs for me as you always do.
Oh, that's right. We must begin our ceremony soon, before the day ends. I'm sorry to keep you all waiting. Let the ceremony begin. Oh, great Link, as my thanks to you, I shall play even harder than I normally do. I hope you enjoy it. Great Deku Tree, this year you have once again produced some splendid seeds. With these seeds, we will continue to spread new forests across the Great Sea. Let us go, Koroks, to the sea.
See you all next year.
Take care. Farewell, great swordsman. May the winds of chance bring us together again someday.
And with that, we have finished up the temple and helped the Great Deku Tree. So, next time on Let's Play The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker HD, we will continue on, go out to the Great Sea, and we have a lot to do. We have a lot to do. There is so much in between us and the next dungeon. So, without further ado, well, let's get that going. But again, that's for next time. Until then. So I guess there actually was further ado there. Whoops.